On November 25th, Armenia received its first shipment of Pinaka multiple launch rocket systems from India, signaling a significant step in its ongoing military buildup. Just a day later, Greece announced its readiness to transfer advanced air defense systems, including the S-300, TOR M1, and OSAAKM, to Armenia. This transfer is not merely a Greek initiative, but the result of coordination with France, which aligns with its broader strategic interests. Notably, these systems were initially intended for Ukraine, yet their redirection to Armenia underscores a deliberate recalibration of geopolitical priorities. This influx of arms points to a stark escalation in Armenia's militarization, raising concerns about revanchist aspirations fueled by its leadership. President Ilham Aliyev has repeatedly emphasized that such ambitions are not confined to marginal political elements, but are actively championed by the Armenian government. As President Ilham Aliyev observed in a speech to the Milli Majlis in September, the current Armenian authorities continue to harbor thoughts and dreams of reclaiming past losses. Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan's motives are not difficult to discern. Faced with collapsing approval ratings, he appears to believe that bolstering Armenia's military capabilities and pursuing confrontational policies might restore his standing. However, this approach is fraught with risks not only for Pashinyan personally, but also for Armenia's sovereignty. History offers ample warnings about the consequences of over-reliance on external patrons and the perils of overestimating their willingness to intervene decisively in moments of crisis. France's role in this equation is critical. Beyond facilitating the Greek transfer of arms, it has pledged to establish a comprehensive air defense network in Armenia, using technology from its military-industrial sector. This commitment, coupled with the European Union's increased presence along the border through monitoring missions, highlights a growing Western stake in the region. Yet these actions, dubbed binocular shows by Azerbaijani officials, often appear more symbolic than substantive. The visit of Polish President Andrzej Duda to the border area on November 28th, not long after Mr. Duda was very cordially received in Baku, underscores the conflicting signals from EU member states. While Azerbaijan has sought to maintain productive relations with European partners, these gestures suggest a willingness to endorse Armenia's hardline positions, further inflaming regional tensions. Pashinyan's strategic pivot away from the CSTO and his conspicuous alienation of Russia add another layer of complexity. By refusing to exclude territorial claims against Azerbaijan from Armenia's constitution and obstructing peace efforts, Pashinyan appears to be banking on Western support to sustain his position. However, as the president of Azerbaijan highlighted during his Victory Day address on November 8th, the West's involvement is driven by self-interest. Its objective is not to secure stability in the South Caucasus, but to use Armenia as a pawn in geopolitics, whether to counterbalance Iran, pressure Russia, or maintain leverage over regional trade routes. EU's interest is especially prevalent after Georgia's stark turn against EU accession. It seems like, unfortunately, Pashinyan hasn't learned anything from observing the situation in Ukraine, and so keeps looking for the support of quote-unquote sister France, the EU, and United States. For Pashinyan, the stakes could not be higher. His hopes of leveraging support from France, the EU, or the United States as a safeguard against the consequences of his policies are misguided. Armenia risks losing far more than it hopes to gain, sacrificing its future to a perilous gamble on external alliances and revanchist dreams. President Ilham Aliyev's warnings were unequivocal. Encouraging Armenia to rearm and seek confrontation is a strategy doomed to fail, he stated, cautioning that such actions would only lead to more bloodshed and suffering for the Armenian people. His words serve as a stark reminder. Armenia must abandon its policy of armament. It must come to an end. I have said this repeatedly, and they know that they must pay attention to my words. It is not too late. They should abandon it. They will never have the power to compete with us.
Bizimle onlar rəqabət aparma gücündə olmayacaqlar heç vaxt.